Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of our emu pen and ink drawing. What you'll need today is a water soluble pen. Make sure it is water soluble. It could be a felt tip or any kind of black ink pen, and a paintbrush and some water. If you don't have a paintbrush, don't worry, you could use cotton wool birds, a sponge, or even your finger. Okay, so if you are ready, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to really emphasize all the dark bits with our felt tip pen. So the really dark bits we're going to go over, work over. Doesn't need to be perfectly coloured in. Okay, so I'm sort of just shading it a little bit. What's going to happen is when we make all the dark bits really dark, it will make the light bits stand out a little bit more as well. So we're emphasizing the different shades now and making them contrast a little bit more. So first of all, I'm doing the eyes. So I'm just working over those eyes to make them even darker. So the really dark bits, so both of the eyes, and then I'm going to just very carefully, you don't have to have a continuous line, little broken line around, just outlining it, those two circles around his eye, so on both sides. So a little broken line. Sometimes broken lines are a bit more effective than a continuous line. Okay, so that's the eyes. I brought the eyes out. You see already that they're popping out. We'll start on the nose as well, so the easy bits, the nostrils. So again, really get those nice and dark, and go over that mouth as well. Nice and dark. Again, using your felt tip a bit like a pencil, just little sketchy lines. And we're going to just outline it a little bit as well. So work over that outline. A nice little broken line, like that. On both sides again. There you go. Okay. If you want to, we could put a few very light little lines at the bottom as well, and at the edges. Okay, we're leaving that top bit completely clear, nothing on that top bit. Right, okay, so that's the mouth and the eyes. We're going to start working on our feathers now. So I'm going to start flicking, so try and do little flicks, again different directions, so it's not really neat. He's quite a scruffy looking emu. Okay, so I'm flicking my pen like this, just quite spaced out. I'm doing a few more at the top, and then as I come down, just putting a couple down the middle, not too many. Okay, round his eyes, I'm going to just swap pens because this one's starting to run out a little bit. So round his eyes, it's nice and dark, isn't it? So what we want to do is make that a bit darker as well. So little lines, sort of his eyelashes. Again, little flicky lines. So little flicky lines around his eyes. And then a little bit, bringing them down into his cheeks a little bit. Same again on this side. So you can see I'm flicking my pen. Little flicky lines. Little lines. So I'm not colouring in. You'll end up running out of ink and using up all your felt tip. So just little lines again around his eye. Get those dark bits a bit darker. A few on his cheeks, on the edges, and then under his mouth again, like this. His mouth's a little bit darker, or his chin's a little bit darker. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do with the pen for the top section. The middle bits of the neck, I'm going to just work over my dots, maybe add a few more in. So I've got some lighter ones and some darker ones now. So all the way down, like this. Okay, add those markings in. Now remember when we did the neck and we made it darker under his chin, because obviously it's a shadow there. So I'm going to again work some little lines just to emphasize. So I'm going like a little triangle shape almost, and then up and then over the other side again a little bit. And then again I'm going to use my pen to do my flicky lines. So I'm not working over all of my pencil. I don't want to completely cover my pencil up. We are creating different shades now. So we've got our lovely pencil marks, but we've also got some darker ones as well. So I'm putting more down the edges because the edges are going to be darker, and then just bringing it in with a few down his neck like that. Okay, so I think with regards to the pen, we're just going to leave it there for now. Now we're going to get our paintbrush and our water. So we need our brush wet but not dripping, and it depends on the kind of paper that you need, that in terms of how much water you need. So if your paper's really thin, really don't saturate your brush, have little bits of water and build it up. Now what should happen with the water, this is the fun bit, is as you work over your pen, you can see it's dissolving a little bit in the water, okay? And it's sort of blending the ink in to your picture a little bit. Try and use, if you've got a brush and you're using a brush, try and keep your flicky lines again. Try and keep emphasizing those flicky lines, and can you see it's smudging? It's almost like watercolor. It's a nice sort of watercolor effect. So we're building up these layers. So we've got our pencil, we've got our pen, and now we've got this sort of lovely watery finish. So I'm going to work over all the pen that I've done, smudging it in, blending it in. Okay, we still want the middle bit to be quite light. Around the eyes. You see, I'm not too much, don't work it too much because it'll make your paper go a bit bobbly as well. So just little flicky brush strokes. I'm just working on the face at the moment, just the feathers around his mouth. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of water just down that middle bit. Now the eyes, what we'll do with our water, we're just going to work over what we did in the middle bit, and that's going to make it really dark and blend that ink together to give a nice smooth finish. Now remember when we did the pencil drawing and we did a nice lighter grey around the outside? What I'm going to do, I'm going to wash my brush. I'm just going to dip a little bit of ink from the middle section, and because it's very watery, that's going to come out a really nice pale grey. So I'm going to do that a little bit, pale grey, same on this side, just a little bit around there. I'm going to keep the outer rim really light, and then that will make them stand out. Okay, so you see the eyes are popping out now, looking really good. What we're going to do next is we'll come down to the mouth. Again, really simple. With our brush, I'm working it at the edges and I'm working it underneath the mouth. I'm leaving this middle bit really light, so I'm not putting anything on that middle bit, but I want it a bit darker just at the edges. What you can do to blend it in a bit is you can just completely wash your brush, give it a little wipe with your fingers, it's just water. Just blend that in a bit if you think it's looking a bit stripy. Okay, there we go. It looks better already. So the neck. Again, all we need to do is just work our water over the top. Don't need to be particularly neat. I quite like sort of quite scruffy brush strokes, different directions. And then again, I'm using my brush to add another layer over the top of feathers. So little flicky lines again, maybe picking up a bit of ink from up here and then just bringing it down. Hopefully you'll get that nice transition from dark to lights. So keep picking a bit up and then working it down like this. And then a bit of water over the whole of the neck, just make those ink bits a little bit splodgy. Okay. And flick, 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 flick. All the way down. Okay, smudging it all out. Like so. Alright, so you can have a little look, stand back, have a little look at it, see if you think needs any more. What you can always do is when it's dry, if you think that some bits need to be a little bit darker, you can always go back with your pen or your pencil. So here you go. And you can make things, if it is dry, just give it a little touch. It should dry quite quickly. You can then work back over it just to get things a bit darker. Like so. Okay, I think that looks pretty okay. And you can take your pencil, and you can always work into a bit more. So if you wanted to add some more eyelashes or some more little dots or details, you can do that as well. Okay, now the last little bit, and I think this looks really nice, you have to be a bit brave, is some splats. I love the splats, I think they look really good. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to pick up a bit of ink, now from our eye, somewhere that there's lots of ink. And I'm going to then dip my brush back into the water and then I'm going to flick like this. This is the fun bit. Okay, so pick up some of the ink and flick. Pick up some ink. You might want to dip it into a bit of water to get your brush really watery and flick. And there you go. Okay, so I think we're finished. One finished emu. So that's our emu finished. We hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to see your pictures, so do send them in to us. We've got lots more activities planned, so we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.